ahead of the Game 3 of 6 at Royal Oak High School Stadium. Oakland County FC taking on AFC Ann Arbor, a return matchup. It was a 1-0 defeat on the 25th of May that Oakland County will be looking for revenge. And both teams coming off defeats. What do you think, Mitch?
Rob, it was a snoozer out there a couple weekends ago in Ann Arbor. We were both there in the stands. There just wasn't much to see. The one goal was all that it took to separate the two sides, and really as that game unfolded, there wasn't a whole lot.
On the 25th of May.
That shouldn't be happening.
You somehow you were streaming the broadcast on the so
That'd be pretty cool. I mean,
we're live and direct. It's pretty meta. Oh yeah, if you don't mind, we don't have a lot of notes on the guys, especially positions. I don't have a lot going for them.
yeah, Rob, I think we should maybe not announce positions and just kind of see where they
Welcome in, sports fans, to Oakland County FC football here on the We Are Soccer channel. It is a blustery and warm day here in Royal Oak, Michigan, and we have a match on your hands. A wonderful Sunday matinee here in Metro Detroit. Both teams sitting in the middle of the pack at USL 2's Great Lakes Division. Oakland County FC returning to the friendly confines of home, having won both of their home games, but losing all three contests on the road. But game 3 at home, game 6 overall, both teams coming off loss. Bad one on Friday for County, tough one midweek for Ann Arbor. So both teams looking to turn their seasons around and get all 3 points. I'm blessed to be alongside the Oakland County FC stream team, streaming the game here on We Are Soccer's YouTube channel and on the Sports Engine platform as well. And I'm also blessed to be joined by broadcast partner Mitch Gatsky. It is a mid-table battle looking to get some revenge. What do you think of this Sunday afternoon's game?
Hey, Rob, good to have you back. Thanks for that wonderful intro. Appreciate you. And again, good to have you back up here in the booth for this one here today. It is a revenge spot indeed for County, one they'll need to pounce on because the 3 points that are up for grabs would move them above Ann Arbor in the standings, and already looking like not much room for failure with just the pace that Midwest and now Flint are setting. Those 2 playoff spots are going to be tough to track down, and County really not much room for error. They'll need to start winning these games here down the stretch.
Yes, this Great Lakes division is so competitive, so many good teams, and only 2 spots available to make it to the playoffs. We are in a very busy period of the season. 3 games in 7 days. Of course, the loss on the road on Friday, now here at home on Sunday, and then again here in Royal Oak on Thursday evening. And there's a bit of an availability issue for Coach Steve Walker that couldn't really have come at a worse time. County are down a couple center backs, and they're leading forward.
Truly the worst time. You mentioned 3 games in 7 days and what that's going to do to your roster as it is. You add in the complications of some players just not being available for squad selection. You're going to see some new players for County here today, some guys making their debut, some guys who have featured but in smaller chunks and will need to take on a bigger role here today. You mentioned there's going to be plenty of rotation, and we'll be sure to dive into more of those details with the starting lineups here in just a bit.
I think we're going to take a look at the home team first. There's a bit of changes in Coach Walker's lineup, as you said. A bit of shifting having to be done, minutes to be accounted for, just playing a game less than 48 hours ago, and then some quirks of the situation going into today's game. So starting at the back, but one of the key performers of the season so far, number 1 is Robert Jelai. And then across the back line, we're not 100% sure actually how the back line is going to look, so I'll just go down the list. We have Rocco Galati, one of the minutes leaders for the team. And then we got Ryan Van de Winkel. Kai Yamazaki, who is leading the team, played all minutes of the season up until this point. Yeah, goalkeeper Robert Jelai and Kai Yamazaki, absolute stalwarts of this team. Need them to keep on playing every minute of the season, you'd think. Yeah. And then we have Carson Balog, Jazinho Elgaro, Malvin Blah, Braden Stevanovic, Chuy Makuka, Dominic Koji, a very young player we're excited to see get some more action. And then up top, Alec Markovsky, the lone goal scorer for County in this lineup today.
Yeah, we'll see. As mentioned, there's going to be some guys who are stepping up and probably playing some different positions. It'll be interesting to see who lines up across that back line, particularly the center back positions. We expect Dominic Koji to be one of those. We've seen Ryan Van de Winkel play on the left side there. Rocco Galati, typically the right back. But there's not a clear other option for center back, so we'll just have to see what happens there.
As we are just about under 5 minutes till kickoff, we'll run through the visiting AFC Ann Arbor lineup. It looks a lot of the same that we saw a couple weeks ago, but a big turnover from what the AFC Ann Arbor lineups we've seen in the past. Might be a little bit of a difference in recruitment, as we understand head coach Rod Asalani taking a little bit of a different approach this season. In goal, we have Reese Mahler. Down the line, we have Salvador Martinez, Luke Sowerby, William Ebby, Andrew Darachian, the leading scorer of the side, who scored the lone goal in these two teams meeting last time. Juan Romero, Marco Valencia, Drew Pearson, Antonio Lima, Antonio Gabriel, and then Yan Brun Jorge, I believe you say that name.
There's a few names in there that we'll grow our way into as the game progresses, but yeah, you mentioned definitely some new faces for Ann Arbor as well compared to what we're seeing from that side over the past few seasons, and not really the campaign that they're used to having this summer so far. There's been some chop and change and just some puzzling results, I would say. So going to be interesting to see how they come out to play here today. Again, two teams that are already in a position where they need to play catch-up in the standings. Both will be going for all 3 points. I expect a quick start, and I think whoever's the most aggressive and grabs that first goal will probably be able to see this one out. So, again, as always, first goal going to be huge here this afternoon.
Just moments from kickoff here at Royal Oak High School Stadium, Game 3 of 8. It's hard to believe on Thursday we'll be halfway through the USL2 regular season. I couldn't be happier to be here on a match day. It was a bright blue sky day, but got a pretty blustery, and now we've got a fair bit of cloud cover. So, ideal conditions, really. They're not going to be baking in the sun. Maybe a little bit of effect by the wind on the ball if we're sending it through the sky, but hopefully we'll see some balls along the ground nonetheless. And we've got the referees getting ready for action. We got Grace Barrett, Corey Beecher, Stephanie McFarland, and Aaron Patterson in our officiating crew today. And this mid-table clash between Oakland County FC and AFC Ann Arbor just moments away. Are we ready to walk out now? And it looks like we are going to have walkouts here in just a moment. We're going to have the pleasure of a live anthem singer. Miss Allie Shepard is going to be leading us the way.
Yeah, Rob, you mentioned the weather, and I think that certainly will play a factor here. As I look across the field right now, I think it's blowing near side to far side, but certainly something we'll keep an eye on, and I'm sure it will be apparent once we get started and those long balls get slung across the field. We'll be able to tell which way that wind is going and how it'll affect proceedings here this afternoon.
So the Great Lakes Midwest, the Great Lakes division of USL2 looks like this. The teams have played a variety of matches from 5 until 9, so it is a little bit skewed, but the top two to chase right now, Midwest United and the Flint City Bucks, followed by Kalamazoo. The opponents today, AFC Ann Arbor, Oakland County FC sitting in 5th. We can jump Ann Arbor today with 3 points. And then we're trailed by Lansing City Football, Michiana FC, and at the bottom, without a win, is Union FC Macomb.
Yeah, a couple opportunities in the next couple of matches to get some revenge from losses earlier in the season. And as we mentioned a couple of times already, those points by season's end are going to become crucial. Midwest has just been able to get off to such a hot start that it really has backed the rest of the division into a corner where every game is a must-win from here on out. You're looking at teams like Flint, Kalamazoo, Ann Arbor, and Oakland County here today, all still in the mix, but all needing to pick up 3 points at a time from here on out.
So we have the teams walking out onto the field. Oakland County FC in the kit, customized and designed and voted upon by the very supporters here. It's beautiful. Scott Palau, supporter, trust member of Oakland County FC, designed these. This is the second season for these kits. I think he calls them Night Sky. The purple smoke going up into the black. And then there's AFC Ann Arbor in the white shirt and the baby blue shorts and socks, looking sharp there. They wore the all green in the away fixture and away against Flint midweek, but this is definitely the more traditional look for the visitors today. Oakland County FC, of course, rocking the purple, and always like the look of the goalkeeper kit that was designed as well at that same time. Rob Jelli looking very sharp. Like I said when we did this starting lineups, he has been really impressive performer. We kind of cycled through a few different goalkeepers in 2023, and he's made it a no doubt as he's the starter in 2024.
Yeah, he's separated himself as the top choice for head coach Steve Walker, and he's shown us why with some tremendous saves in the first half of the season and really marshaling things from the back. We mentioned some positional changes across that back line, and having the consistency in net really does help. So we'll look to him. I mean, Rob, you look at the results so far here at Royal Oak High School Stadium, he has not allowed a goal. So County certainly will be hoping that he can continue that streak here today.
As the hometown fans at Royal Oak High School Stadium welcomes the starters being announced by our fantastic public address announcer. It is important to note that in front of the home fans, Oakland County FC are undefeated and have a very good record historically. It's those road games that have been problematic. 0-3 on the road. You obviously need to win all your home games, but you want to get some results on the road. So against a mid-table rival, this game, although it's only game 6 of the season, not even halfway through, and it really feels like it has the pressure of a must-win.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned the splits between home and away. I think that's just the nature of this level of soccer. You take a bunch of guys who are in college, and they're going to carpool together and hit the next town and try to be in a good position to play a game. So we'll see what Ann Arbor, again, not too far of a drive, but we'll see what kind of condition they are in today.
Just moments away from kickoff here on We Are Soccer's YouTube channel, but we're going to pause for a minute as we are going to be joined, or we're going to go down to the field for anthem singer Allie Shepard to lead us in the way of our national anthem. All right, it is now match time. We've gone through the rosters, we've gone through the talking points, and now it is go time. Oakland County FC need a win. I mean, it doesn't
More
go
importantly than that, Rob, they need to show kind of what they're made of. We talked about the differences in the lineup and how guys are going to have to step up. Who is it that's going to step up today? We're going to learn a lot about what this county side is made of and who those leaders are out there on the field.
It's a Sunday matinee match here at Royal Oak High School Stadium, but a big day for the World's Game as international tournaments are right around the corner. It is tryout day, as you can see in the background. Royal Oak FC having their tryouts, as are all the travel clubs throughout the state and the region. So lots going on locally, nationally, and internationally. And it is now time for the action to commence here. So excited to be with you here on the We Are Soccer YouTube channel, as well as the Sports Engine platform. My name is Robert Kerr on the call. I'll be right next to Mitch Gatsky. We're going to have a halftime guest to get a little bit of a scout's insight and some analysis on this. We Are Soccer's own Brooks Lambier will be joining us at halftime.
And that'll be really cool, Rob, because, you know, we key in on some of the same things. We've seen County in the way that they want to play. We're familiar with the other teams in the division. Brooks brings a different perspective on things. He's going to know a little bit more detailed information on just where these guys are coming from and help us paint a better picture of what their careers are looking like outside of County and AFC Ann Arbor.
Our officiating crew, a very female-heavy, as we have Grace Barrett, Corey Beecher, Stephanie McFarland, and Aaron Patterson leading us the way. And it'll be the home side, Oakland County FC, in the purple and black, going from right to left on your screens here in the first half, and the visiting AFC Ann Arbor in the white and blue, going from left to right. Excited to bring you Oakland County FC action here on the We Are Soccer YouTube channel, and being put together by the illustrious OCFC Stream Team. So excited for 90 minutes of the best pre-professional action here in the state. Goals is what we'll be looking for. Only one goal in the side that's lined up for Coach Steve Walker, and we are underway. Home game 3 of 8, match 6 of the full season, and we are underway.
Rob, first thing I'm noticing, it is Carson Bala, who is the center back on that far side there, just at the top of the end zone. And we'll talk more about his position change here today. Normally a midfielder and going to be tasked with marshaling things from the back here tonight.
That was the number 3 of County, Van de Winkle, Ryan Van de Winkle, recent transfer to Michigan State. He was kind of trying to cut down the left, got past a couple players and tried to send it long from Alvin Blau off this near side. We'll be interested to see. This is definitely a new look for County. And here is the aforementioned, or here is Kai Yamazaki on the ball over to Van de Winkle. And this is Dominic Koji, a young player, a Vardar product, slotting into the back line for head coach Steve Walker. We had a little bit of a solid center back duo of Braden Brewski and Wishmeyer, but injury and unavailability kind of plaguing that back line, so kind of getting creative with this. And Alec Markovsky is at number 14 you see on the screen there, and he's got the lone goal in this lineup. On the far side, on that right wing side, number 7 has an assist to his name, but not a lot of goal scoring. County usually flush with the goals and not always the most solid in the back in years past, but this year, very solid at the back. And here comes Chui Makuka trying to get inside that fullback. He does. He gets there on the baseline, tries to get it to Markovsky, but our center referee blows for the first foul of the game. I'm not sure if the linesman had a flag up there for offsides or if they whistled Chewy for maybe getting a little handsy there inside the opponent's box.
Yeah, I think it was a pullback. He tried to work his way free, just too handsy, as you mentioned. And also the thing to watch, I think, with County here today is how do they go about progressing the ball up the field. A lot of times we've seen them play long balls up to Keith Larson, and that worked very well against Lansing, but we don't have that same presence up top here this evening, so it's going to be interesting. Is it wing play? It usually is, with Malvin and Chewy leading the way, but who's there in the middle for those whipped-in balls? We'll just have to wait and see how this game develops.
Looks like Zinio's kind of playing more of a midfield role here today.
Yeah, so that was the big takeaway that we had from that game against Lansing.
Kai Yamazaki sends Malvin Blah down the left-hand side. Left-footed cross low, cut out there by the Ann Arbor center back. Yamazaki able to put it back to Blah, puts it high and in the side. It's cleared out now.
Oof.
And
bad timing there, and County's going to get the foul call, and it was a 50-50, but I think the player was a little vulnerable as he went to clear it. And yeah, that Lansing game, the big change that we saw was Zinio stepping up into midfield where you see him now, number 13 there. It really allowed him to get on the ball in more dangerous areas and put balls in from the wide spaces that we saw him try to go to work from the left back spot that he started the first couple of games, but just wasn't able to have the freedom with the defensive duties that he also had to worry about. So he pushed up into midfield. Ryan Vandewinkle got his first start, his first county appearance.
And some pressing here, making AFC Ann Arbor have to go back to the goalkeeper. Kai Yamazaki already has about 3 or 4 interceptions here in this first 4 minutes of the match. And can he link up with Markovsky or Stevanovic, the number 9 for County, kind of playing the 10 role in all honesty here. The number 1 recruit from Canada going into college this year, hoping he can have a breakout game. We've seen some flashes, some talent, but I don't think we've quite seen him utilized. I haven't seen him unleashed yet. So hopefully County's number 9 can break out here. And really the story has been without Keith Larson, can number 14, the forward-most County player, number 14, Alec Markovsky, the Western Michigan Bronco. He's kind of been in the shadow of a lot of really good players out in Kalamazoo, and he'd really like to step up here for County this summer, going into a big summer, or a big fall rather, out in Western Michigan.
Yeah, Stefanovic, Markovsky definitely going to be the guys who need to step up in attack here today.
But they're going to be challenged at the back now. The right foot is saved. What a sprawling save by Rob Gelai. That ball looked to have eyes, a little bit of zip. No one really closing down for County, allowing some space. And the first real test of either goalkeeper sees Rob Gelai answer the test with flying colors.
Kai Yamazaki was a little out of position there and got caught chasing. Normally he's the one to step up and close down those spaces, but in that instance, Ann Arbor able to have a free shot at Rob Gelai's goal, and Gelai equal to the task.
Rob Gelai plays Northwood University, really has come a long way since last summer. Yamazaki takes a shoulder there, but the ball only goes back as far as the County back line. Here's Malvin Blah trying to link up with Stevanovic. The return ball not quite connecting as County are pressing from the front. 4 forwards chasing after that, but AFC Ann Arbor have gotten around them a couple times here in the early moments, and interesting to see how things shake out. What's that initial burst of energy kind of wears off, like how are these patterns of play going to develop? Will this young backline for County kind of form a little bit of chemistry? You're trying to form some chemistry on the trot, you feel, as this isn't even the lineup that played just 2 days ago and hasn't featured all together. I mean, a back line of Carson Balog and young Dominic Koji, both teenagers getting the start here. Really hope that they find some good patterns and some good communication as this goes on. And you feel that Kai Yamazaki, we're going to live or die by him and his tackles here.
He's always been that security blanket for the center backs that he plays in front of, but today you mentioned 2 young guys not only finding their way into the lineup, but next to each other, and just that lack of experience, that lack of cohesion, you hope doesn't come back to bite County here today. But again, another opportunity for some young guys to show what they're made of, and it's kind of a sink or swim sort of Sunday afternoon.
As Alec Markovsky is Definitely powered off the ball by Drew Pearson.
And Rob, too, you mentioned just the bad timing aspect of what happened with Wishmeyer and Barutsky all of a sudden being unavailable for selection, and just really hurts to see as they had built up quite a relationship at the back for County in the few games that they had played consecutively.
All right, this is a
Bad
dangerous
tackle there.
moment here, and that advantage probably should have been played as Oakland County FC were outnumbered there, and it looks like County's number 6, Kai Yamazaki, getting an early yellow from what I could tell there.
I think it was Carson who made the tackle. He's probably the one who got the card. But, yeah, certainly not what you want to see so early. We mentioned just the strain that is going on at the back for County, and already
Oh, that
an
we
early
got
card.
confirmation that was number 8, Carson Balog, getting that yellow card. He was stepping out of his center back position there and was kind of out of position and fouled and kind of got away with it because there was going to be a distinct advantage for Ann Arbor there for a moment. But Ann Arbor trying to possess the ball here as they cycle it around and trying to cut through some lines, looking for their number 9. And he turns and finds teammate. Ann Arbor, their first real possession of the ball in the attacking half. How does the County rotation deal with it? Here's Zinho putting pressure on there. Forces a bad pass. Here's Yamazaki on the ball. He combines well to release some pressure. Looking long for Malvin Blah to chase and ruling that offside, which is a little harsh. Looked like Malvin Blah got the best and got in behind Drew Pearson. His brother was a former Michigan Mr. Soccer a couple years back. Former Jags player, the number 20 for the visitors. They're with the ball in hand. If you're just joining us, my name is Robert Kerr alongside Mitch Gatsky for Oakland County FC. Action, USL 2 League play, OCFC versus the visiting AFC Ann Arbor. Happy to be alongside Mitch Gatsky. We're only about 10 minutes in, so lots of soccer to be played here at Royal Oak High School Stadium. Wonderful Sunday afternoon. It was a sunny day here, but now overcast and windy. Good amount of folks here underneath the press box for a Sunday matinee. A wonderful match day Oakland County FC puts on. Lots of free stuff, a kids area. I think they've got a small side, like 3-on-3 mini goal soccer set up in lieu of a bounce house. A little too windy for the bounce houses today. Pre-match bar, you can cruise on over to Zioli's. And a belated birthday shout out to Martha Zagorski. As Zinho looks to weave his way through here, finds college Tiffin University teammate Kai Yamazaki, who receives the ball back again, is so strong on the ball and does draw that foul. Number 13, Andrew Durakian, the Walled Lake North alumni, who is the leading scorer on this AFC Ann Arbor side. So we're going to have to watch out for him. He scored the lone goal a couple weeks ago when we made the trip to Ann Arbor. That was, you noted, a bit of a snooze fest last week, or a couple weeks ago in Ann Arbor, and he was the lone name on the score sheet, and you're going to have to watch out for him today.
There just wasn't a whole lot going on that afternoon. A lot of possession in the midfield, back and forth. Neither team really had a lot of ideas what they wanted to do with the ball once they got into the attacking third, and it was just a momentary lapse of defensive judgment that cost County 3 points that afternoon.
AFC Ann Arbor coming into this match 2 points ahead of County, having played one more game. So it's really trying to keep pace with those leaders. It is a little disheartening to see the points gap, but those leaders have played so many more games. Midwest United on 22 points after 9 matches played. And then 6 matches played for Flint with 14 points. And then AFC Ann Arbor and Oakland County FC having just played 6 and 5 games between them. And we could leapfrog them with all 3 points today. Malvin Bluff finds his Tiffin teammate Kai Yamazaki, who tries to get it to Stevanovic, who's crowded out by that second defender. He did well to hold off the first, but the second, I think that was the number 23, Antonio Gabriel, getting whistled for that. Nothing really connecting with the forwards there. We haven't really seen Stefanovic link up with Markovsky at all just yet. And
no, County hasn't been able to progress the ball through the midfield, through the center of the pitch. It's been a lot of wing play, which, again, we're used to those wide balls out to Malvin, out to Chewy, but you mentioned just that lack of a link there so far in the midfield.
See, there's a line of 4 of forwards here at the midfield way and having to look hopeful. And here's Zinho trying to get in behind the back line. Goalkeeper for AFC Ann Arbor had to play with his feet. He does well enough, and he connects with his midfield players. Both goalkeepers have had to deal with some pressured back passes already.
GUSSUG.com. That's GusSuck.com.
Rob, now feels like about as good time as any to tell the people about Diversified Members Credit Union. They are your local credit union, and whether you're looking to upgrade your life from kitchens, weddings, vacations, and more, they can help make it real. Visit the DMCU tent in the pavilion during match day for information, or visit them at dmcu.com.
As that looked like it might have been a whistle, but here come County over the halfway line. Stefanovic on the ball, looking for the run of Alec Markovsky. He's in behind. Can he get the finish? There's a terrible tumble, but no whistle coming, but the ball stays with County. Markovsky needs to get his head up. He's looking for a pass, and it goes to the far side. Here, Rocco Galati wearing the captain's armband, one of the leading players in minutes on this team. Gets the ball poked away from him, though, as he cut inside. And Markovsky did get in behind the visiting center back. Do you think that was a foul or just a tangle of legs there, Mitch?
No, I think Markovsky just didn't have the speed to break away the way that he wanted to, and then ultimately his attempt at a finish just not enough on it, and it kind of slid away from him, but no foul for me.
Nice pass, though. That was good to see the number 9, Braden Stefanovic, play a pass to his number 9 attacking player. And good to see Markovsky get on the end of a pass, but yeah, just maybe one step ahead of that defender, and he gets a better look at goal.
Yeah, Stefanovic really hasn't gotten on the ball too much as of yet, playing that attacking midfield sort of role.
Here's Malvin Blah, nice aggressive turn. Here's Stefanovic. He's got room to his right. He splits to the left. Here's Malvin Blah into the box, gets it tackled away from him, though. That was tidy defending there from Jan Brun Jorge, or Jorge, depending on pronunciation. But good link up there, played there for a moment. You'd hope that Malvin would be able to get some service into the box, but somewhat encouraging for the attacking fluidity of the home side. As a good sliding tackle there repels the attack for just a moment, but trying to attack on the right-hand side, come Ann Arbor. Good defensive effort there by the County number 3, Ryan Vandewinkle, who's been tested early so far down the right-hand side.
Yeah, he was strong against Lansing, a welcome addition to that back line, and he's going to need to do more of the same here tonight.
From what I understand, in the preseason, he was actually set to be a day match 1 starter, but kind of picked up a little bit of a knock there in the preseason, so that delayed his County debut.
Well, that makes more sense. We can see why. I mean, from that showing against Lansing, you can see why he would have been a first selection type player.
Stefanovic looked like he got grabbed there, but no foul doing. Would have liked on that breakaway where he went to Malvin, who eventually was tackled. I mean, the pass did split those defenders, but it looked like Jimmy was pretty open up on the right-hand wing.
You know, it was good vision to find the pass that he did send, but maybe not the best vision to find the optimal pass at that moment.
Both wingers, Malvin and Chewy, a lot of chemistry playing off each other on opposite wings. They did so for Tiffin for a few seasons, and then last year here at Royal Oak, and so they kind of know how to balance each other off, and Malvin had 2 guys on him, still got the pass, but Chewy. Lots of space on that far side, so hopefully Stevanovic can pick the player out in a lot of space next time he's on the ball.
Well, I think that's, Rob, exactly what County's going to want to do, get the ball in this sort
Here's
of area.
Markovsky, and just not fast enough there, as it looked like Zinho was wide right and had the ball taken away from him from behind. Either he didn't get the shout or just didn't get his feet moving fast enough. As the play goes in favor of Ann Arbor, they're probably starting to be more on the ball as Markovsky gets in the way of that, deflects it to Malvin Blah, who almost connects down the right-hand channel. Was that Zinho or was that Chewy Makuka? Yeah, it was Makuka. Looked like he was in some space, but the pass didn't quite get there as Yamazaki has to make up a lot of space. And good tackle there. Carson Below got his foot in the way for a moment, but it's still with Ann Arbor. Cutting onto his right foot. Combining on the top of the box, right-footed strike is blocked. And that was a dangerous moment there as there was a couple Mighty Oak players lining up, trying to shape up for a shot at Rob Gelai's line.
Yeah, that slipped pass looked like it might have given them a moment of daylight. Thankfully, the County back line collapsed and blocked that shot attempt. Really hasn't been anything since that one strike that Gelai had to stop.
I think that shot was off the foot of number 21, Antonio Lima. And one of the matchups I think is going to be conclusive or a pivotal part of this game is County's number 3, the left fullback. We noted him, Ryan Vandewinkle, the Loyola transfer to MSU. He's kind of being set up to be one-on-one with number 9, Salvador Martinez here on the near side, as there is another free kick in favor of AFC Ann Arbor on the far side. But I really think that that matchup between Vandewinkle and the number 9 of Martinez, I feel like that might be integral to how this, at least this first half, plays out.
Not a whole lot of size in the Ann Arbor lineup, so.
No, definitely a different look because there were some absolutely monstrous center backs in times past for this Ann Arbor side. They've always been tricky. I don't have the all-time record between these sides in front of me now, but it definitely favors Ann Arbor. But probably the most famous matchup was that Milk Cup semifinal a few years back where County got the last gasp winner in overtime. I think that's a Mike Malorani strike there.
Yes, it was.
That was one of my favorite moments as a County supporter. Purple smoke out in Ann Arbor that day. Definitely in the County lore, that Milk Cup run. And there was some purple smoke at kickoff, and hopefully the Elmwood Elite, the supporters group for Oakland County, will have an opportunity to light off that purple smoke and we'll hear a goal celebration. But nothing forthcoming. About 21 minutes in here. USL League 2 action. The best pre-professional action here in the region. My name is Robert Kerr alongside Mitch Gatsky. Streaming live. And you can come back to it, of course, here on the We Are Soccer YouTube channel. Throwing on the far side, Captain Rocco Galati to take. Looking for Chewy Makuka. Goes just off of his left boot. As Ann Arbor looked to turn out of trouble and playing it back. Excuse me. Up in the booth here. Getting a little breezy. You see the Olmsted Park across the way. The trees are blowing strong. It looks like the Royal Oak FC tryouts are winding down. There was 3 fields of action, all busy with activity here behind the stadium here. Just down to the one here to far to the right is Ann Arbor looking to build. And they go to the left-hand side. Galati's going to do some one-on-one defending here. And he does just enough. Zinho comes across but doesn't retain the ball. Ann Arbor continue. They're looking to get through that back line. Yamazaki in position there for a moment. And a sliding Rocco Galati gets the ball away.
Nice.
There's a good combination here. Chewy Makuka. Can he get on his horse? And here's Stevanovic with some jets into the Ann Arbor box. Goes onto his right foot. What a save, though, by AFC Ann Arbor. Best shot of the day comes 23 minutes And it was that man, Braden Stefanovic, the Canadian wonder, looking to get on the board for the first time in County Purple, but he's repelled by the save of Reese Mahler.
One of the best moves forward for County here so far in the early going, and really that authoritative grabbing the ball, going forward, driving at defenders, making them make decisions. That's what you want to see from Stefanovic. I think that's where he's at his best.
And it looks like there's a pattern coming through as Chewy Makuka tried to go baseline, but the linesman on the far side rule it a goal kick. But it definitely looks like Ann Arbor is going to be the possession side and County are going to be the counter attacking side as it's playing, as the lineups are right now.
Well, and despite increased possession that we've seen from County throughout this season compared to last summer and summers past, I think still the plan will be strike quickly on the counter, use the speed, use the wings. We've seen it play out a number of times, and it's no surprise that County can fall back into that style of play when other ideas seem to not come together.
Dominic Koji played a nice line-splitting ball to Stefanovic, who's got Malvin Blau on the run, left-footed cross. Is repelled by Ann Arbor, but I really like to see that on his, like I said, his first start for County, the young center back Dominic Koji played a really nice pass to Stefanovic. He hadn't seen a whole lot of those line-cutting passes, and it'll be County's first corner of the match. Looks like it'll be a left-footed outswinger here as we crest the quarter-hour mark. It'll be Malvin Blau to take. A lot of traffic there, but repelled by the AFC Ann Arbor, and two County players getting in each other's way at the top of the box. And that long ball might find the run of the visiting attacker, Marco Valencia, waiting for some teammates. And his pass only finds the captain, Rocco Galati, and that counterattack is snuffed out. But you would have loved to see the County players kind of be more on the same page. That ball was headed back to kind of a optimal position, especially for the County number 8, is AFC Ann Arbor really have a couple whacks at it, trying to get it into the box, and it looks like it just about stayed in there. Right-footed delivery, headed away by Koji, and there is Zinio's knocked to the floor, no whistle, and eventually cleared out onto the far side. Stands, but number 8 for County looked like he might have a shooting opportunity. Carson Below, who pushed up from his center back position, but one of his teammates getting in the way, leading to a visiting counterattack there.
Yeah, instead of either one of them getting it, neither one did, and set up that counterattack possibility for Ann Arbor.
Because Ann Arbor center back headed it right to the top of the box there. Not the best clearances. They get into the County box now. Right-footed cross attempt blocked by the County defender. What can Malvin do with it? It goes out of bounds in favor of the visiting Mighty Oak.
I think that's fine because it would have been a turnover anyway, probably more dangerous.
Ann Arbor probing and pressing.
Good work there.
Malvin poking it away. Markovsky gets it back to him. Patient, nice.
Good pass.
Here's Zinio. Can he pick up his head? Can he pick the right pass? Goes past Markovsky, comes back to him. But Malvin was not anticipating the return pass.
Not on the same page there. A couple of different ideas, but
the execution of the master plan did not happen.
Yeah. Just not quite on the same page.
Good step up there by Koji.
And it can be one of those things, too, where you're used to playing with one guy, another one comes into the lineup, and he maybe doesn't make the same movements or have the same timing as the teammate that you're used to combining with. And that can result in just those little plays where things are just a little bit off and it doesn't come off, and ultimately results in nothing but a turnover.
You feel like something, just maybe a fortuitous bounce needs to. I know Markovsky did get a goal last week against Lansing, but you feel like he's just a little bit of a tweak or something, because he finds himself often in the right places, but somehow just like a beat off or a step behind, or just, I don't know if that's just getting reps in, because I mean he has sat at Western behind some pretty incredible players.
Yeah.
I mean, Dylan Singh, Mike Melarani,
yeah.
Charlie Sharp, two of those three, in the MLS Next Pro, looking actually, and Charlie Sharp making his full MLS debut a couple of weeks ago. So he's kind of waited in the shadows, and maybe it's just a couple more reps as AFC Ann Arbor try to get through the back line, and they get another whistle. Here's a yellow card, and this time, who is it for?
I think it was Koji, number 2.
So I believe that might make both county starting center backs with a yellow card here under half an hour played. I think that's Koji because number 8, Carson Blau, got one in the first few moments. And then, I think Dominic Koji is getting this one. Is that what you're going with? I mean, he's having a bit of a conversation here with the ref.
And it's one of those, too, where there's not really much of a conversation to be had. I don't think the shirt pull was clear after he got beat. You just can't let the guy blow by you and get in on your keeper like that, so you got to bring him down. But, both center backs who are new to the lineup, both on yellow cards, were 29 minutes in. I would imagine some defensive substitutions are going to be happening in the second half.
Coach Steve Walker does have some options on the bench, but some defending to do here first, as this is a dangerous place for an Ann Arbor free kick. It's going to be a right-footed strike, up and over, but into the arms, into the hands, stinging the palms. It is of Rob Gelai. It took the crowd's breath away for a moment when he got it up and over the defensive wall, but not accurate to the sides enough to beat or even really test too badly goalkeeper Rob Gelai. One of the repeat man of the match nominees, and he's won it at least once so far here in the first half of the season.
He was my man of the match against Lansing, just the way that he was able to step up in big moments. Not really any spectacular saves, but again, when he was called upon, he was able to answer those calls.
He's made one diving save already in the opening moments. He had to dive to his right and palm it away, and there he was positionally sound enough to be in the right place for that shot. Had plenty of power, but wasn't to the side as Zinho or Chewy Makuka slides it to the right for the run of Stevanovic.
He tried to be a little too crafty there.
Maybe something a little quicker could have done the trick.
He cut it out with kind of a no-look sort of an approach, and defender was not distanced the way that Chewy thought he was. I think you talk about positioning, particularly with goalkeepers too, and a lot of times I don't think we give credit for those guys not having to make spectacular saves. If you're in the right spot, those shots come right to your face and you don't have to dive and tip it over the bar. So maybe a little bit more credit due for Rob Gelai and just the way that he's handled himself between the pipes this year.
And that is a shot in anger, but not with accuracy for number 23, Mr. Antonio Gabriel, as his left-footed strike goes around the bar. And is that Mr. Antonio Garcia, number 23? As that's off the side of the page on my sheet.
Folks, you have less than 15 minutes.
This AFC Ann Arbor has played 6 games, won 2, lost 2, drawn 2. So an exactly 500 side here at this stage of the season for head coach Rod Asalani. Different look to the squad for Ann Arbor this year, who went to the playoffs last year. They were one of the 2 teams out of this division who gets a bid to the playoffs. I think it was Flint City Bucks and Ann Arbor last year, taking the place of Kalamazoo, had a run of winning the division back-to-back years. Ann Arbor tries to turn there, and that's dangerous.
Oh, boy.
That looked like a trip, no whistle.
Got away with that.
Markovsky looking for the run of Chewy Makuka, who's changed to this near side, the switch of wingers between Makuka and Gabla. As Lima duels well there with Van Winkle.
There's some tension building on the field, Rob. You can hear the players are loudly communicating. There were a couple of potential fouls not called back-to-back there, one for each side, and maybe the intensity ratcheting up just a little bit here as we close in on the latter portion of the first half. What I want to see from County here is not so much conversation with the refs. We've seen it a few times this season and even over the years where a couple calls don't go your way, you start to fixate on it, all of a sudden you're not playing your game. You're worried more about what the officials are doing. Let's just stay focused here. Keep that defensive shape. So far, despite some shaky moments at the back, overall I think things have gone well there at the back.
That's Ann Arbor attacking, gone by Stevanovic and Zinho in that sequence, and eventually getting the call. Van de Winkel, again,
good job
making a play and snuffing that out as
yeah.
that Ann Arbor player diced past a few.
Van de Winkel with the understanding there that he didn't need to play that ball, just put himself in the right position to draw the foul from the eager attacker who wanted to get at that ball. What I've noticed from County is a lot of long balls on the goal kicks, and I'm sure we'll see the same here from the free kick sort of in the corner there from Rob Jelli, and flick-ons to runners in behind. Let's see what happens here.
I'd love to see them get on the ball and play it to the right. Malvin looks like he's in a lot of room on the right, or he was there for a moment as Zinho was dispossessed there, and Ann Arbor able to get their foot on the ball once again.
And something we've seen from County quite a bit is that rotation between Chewy and Malvin, flip-flopping sides and really giving different looks for defenses to have to solve for.
And here's a Ann Arbor with a little bit of a trickery to get past the County midfield, but really good pursuit there from Malvin Blas. He gets that return pass. That was a crafty little play, good hustle play and a link up, but that pass fortuitously makes it way back to Blas. It cuts inside. Is rebuffed by a couple, but may make it. He's able to get it back to Kayamizaki. Looking for a pass. Markovsky, left-footed strike, but
too far out.
No real power on that. As it looked like he had a couple options too, as that was actually a promising build-up. County had a lot of numbers forward there. And I liked that hustle play by Malvin to win the ball back in his own half. Kept his run going. Stevanovic found him and looked like they might have an opportunity. Here comes County one more time. Stevanovic to Markovsky. Nice. And here's Chewy Makuka into the Ann Arbor box, and a great recovery run by Luke Sowerby to block that shot off the right boot of Chewy Makuka. Good combination. A little bit of chemistry of this front four starting to show and bear some fruit possibly.
Best combination for County so far. I think you saw the little tic-tac-toe and a slide pass out to Chewy with some space.
We'll see what they can do from this deep corner as Rocco Gelati weighing his options. Goes to Malvin. Can he keep it in? It does, but only as far as AFC Ann Arbor, who are able to clear. And a little bit of a foot race there, and it'll go back to young Koji, who mishits it, but Rob Jelli, aware of the situation, his clearance over the head of Rocco Gelati, but spins to Stevanovic, who is able to do enough to the Yamazaki, whose switch pass gets to Chewy Makuka as he tries a step over, but he is firmly told no by the Ann Arbor defender. That was number 16, the fullback, Jorge, I hope it is. But that was an impressive tackle. Impressive tackle. Makuka tried to go around him, and he was definitely rebuffed.
He's a no-nonsense player with the shirt tucked in.
High socks, shirt tucked in, and he's got on the ball. Here's Jorge over Koji. That might have been a handball, and that goes in behind. They had a couple groans from the supporters here, but that was well wide at the near post. But impressive run by that right-sided player on AFC Ann Arbor.
Yeah, and a good little flipped-in ball there from Jorge. Just kind of put that over the head of Van de Winkel and made him turn around. Jelli is going to send the it's happened every goal kick. They'll set up like that, and then Rob will tell them all to push up. So I don't know if that's something where they're trying to get a look maybe to start short, and if they don't, they're going to end up just sending it into midfield like this. They've yet to really win any headers in the midfield. It's been a lot of Ann Arbor just kind of taking back over possession.
And that cycle's repeated itself here as this AFC Ann Arbor player has some time on the ball. He goes around Kai Yamazaki. That player's running in behind. Number 13's open on the penalty spot for a moment. Here's AFC Ann Arbor come down that left-hand side. Low cross cut out by Koji and sent long for Markowski to chase. Markowski not able to close him down and force any rash passes out of the Ann Arbor back line as he'll look to slice through one layer, but County's number 8 does well enough to stop that pass as Carson Balog. As here's Stevanovic looking for Chui Makuka, and very smartly off his line is the AFC Ann Arbor goalkeeper, Reese Mahler. For a moment, it looked like Chui Makuka was going to get in on the end of it. It was a nice little ball, but the goalkeeper very quick to react to that and able to get down and cover up. Looking long, Ann Arbor there. That's a long clearance, and that's going to be offside against Markowski. I guess that'll, at the very least, give County teammates a moment to catch their breath as Dominic Koji, the Sterling Heights native, 19-year-old Vardar MLS Next product, got his debut, got some time against Kalamazoo on Friday, and in getting his, I believe, first start here today. Coming up, probably has a good relationship with Steve Walker with his connections at Vardar and the MLS Next program up there as Ann Arbor worked on this right-hand side, getting into the box, pass, cross. What's he going to do? Tries the shot, and eventually deflected by the recovering Dominic Koji, who's beaten but did well to come back and block that over for a AFC Ann Arbor goal kick, or a corner kick, rather.
He made the smart decision to not stick himself back into that mix and foul the attacking player, because it would have likely been his second yellow. And Salvador Martinez did have some time in the box on the ball there, but fortunately kind of able to scramble back and to get away with it, forcing this corner.
And corner's taken in. A lot of players jump up for not a lot of contact in the 6-yard box. I think 3 players looked to head that, and none got anything of purchase. The ball sent back in, back post header. Van de Winkel does enough to force it wide. Yamazaki boots the second attempt away. Ann Arbor trying to turn up the pressure on this young County back line.
Yeah, Ann Arbor feels like the aggressor at this point, trying to push for that first goal of the game, and County maybe just trying to get into half at 0-0, regroup, take a look at what's worked well for them. A couple of moments of combination up top, but
here's a curling cross at the top of the box, headed away by Koji. Still with Ann Arbor. Looking for a diagonal ball. They connect. Here's Jorge to the masked midfielder, but it's popped up. The County wingers all the way back here as Stevanovic and Malvin Blog get out of each other's way, but Malvin is crowded off of the ball there. He throws his hands up, looking at the referee, Grace Barrett, asking for the whistle. None coming there, but maybe needed to be stronger. I think that was William Ebby forcing Malvin off the ball, and a yellow card coming against Malvin. The 3rd yellow card for County so far, and we're not quite till halftime yet.
I think he's just kind of lost his temper there. He didn't get the foul he felt that he had earned. As he got pushed off the ball, and very next action he slides in a play that he really didn't need to and was kind of late and paid the price for it. Tell you about Sweet Green, Rob. Their core values guide their actions, and they aim to empower customers, team members, and partners to be a positive force on the food system. That's why they're building a transparent supply network, why they cook from scratch, and why they are building a community of people who believe in the power of real food. For more information and locations nearest you, visit sweetgreen.com.
Thank you, Mitch, and thank you to Sweet Greens. We are just a couple minutes away from halftime, so I'll let you know, after a brief break, we're going to welcome We Are Soccer's Brookslam Beer into the booth and get a little bit of a different opinion on the game, as he has a background in scouting as well as being one of the entertaining co-hosts on the Sunday night program on the We Are Soccer channel. So keep it tuned in while you go get a refreshment at halftime as we welcome Brookslam Beer into the booth.
Brooks has been instrumental for us over the last few years, providing notes and just giving us some information on players who we may not be familiar with, or he's just always plugged in. So it'll be very interesting to hear him on the mic instead of kind of behind the scenes providing us the information. He'll give it to you firsthand. So stay tuned at halftime for that for sure.
As Malvin Blahi links up to Zinho, looking long for Markovsky. The goalkeeper's out of his box there.
He thought it was going to make it into the box, and you could tell he got the happy feet for a moment when he realized it wasn't going to.
So it works out in the end for goalkeeper Reese Moeller, but a little bit of a moment of adrenaline. I'm sure he was not able to catch that kind of bouncing ball, maybe one of the few balls that has been affected by today's wind.
Yeah, it hasn't been nearly as much of a factor as I would have expected. I guess it's probably died down a little bit from where it was pre-match, but
yeah, pre-match it went from a blue sky day to a cloudy day, all in like the 45 minutes leading to kickoff. And
really
I think
did.
Now that the clouds are here, the wind has died down. The trees at the park in the background were blowing all sorts of crazy. A little bit calmer now. It's probably just down to breezy conditions as we get right towards the end of the 45 minutes here at Royal Oak High School Stadium. Probably not too much stoppage time to go.
I wouldn't think so. A couple of brief pauses for injury, but probably a minute, maybe two.
Chances probably slightly in favor of the visitors, but I mean, probably one apiece.
Yeah.
Both goalies only had to make like one real save of note. July diving to his right off the foot of a pretty strong shot from the Ann Arbor attacker, and then looked like Braden Stavanovich had a chance for his first county goal, but goalkeeper Reese Muller for Ann Arbor repelling that one. So 0-0 here at Royal Oak High School Stadium in USL2 Great Lakes Division action, as that deflected ball looked for half a moment like it might fall to AFC Ann Arbor. Here's Stavanovich, maybe a chance to get a moment of quality as he cuts inside the defender. Defender loses his balance, left-footed strike, and it's blocked. That defender did well to get his feet under him again, as Ann Arbor looking to counter the other way. End-to-end action all of a sudden here in stoppage time. And the number 23 for the visitors, Antonio Garcia, sees his shot go way wide and high and not at all a threat. And it might be just the last piece of action before our halftime break.
It was very well done by William Eby there on that last defensive action for Ann Arbor. It looked like he had been done by Stavanovich and able to somehow, as you mentioned, get his feet back under him and make that block. Stavanovich ready to curl that one goalward.
We've seen more Stavanovich with positive thrusts forward than in games past. And hopefully we see more of that in the second half. But as our center referee blows for halftime, it is zeros for both sides between Oakland County FC and AFC Ann Arbor. We're going to take a brief break and then welcome in Brookslam Beer from We Are Soccer here for a halftime chat in just a few moments. Stay tuned.
At OMPT Specialists, we treat our patients like their family. Our one-on-one treatment approach and philosophy really allows us to get to know our patients on a personal level. We understand what is impacting them the most and what we need to work on, and we're able to target those things very fast and get them back to function as quick as possible.
Everyone knows about the big bucket list. Trips to Europe, climbing a mountain, skydiving at 40,000 feet. But what's on your monthly bucket list? You know, the one we'd like to check off now? At Diversified Members Credit Union, we're not for profit, so we can offer some of the lowest rates around, just in time to set sail. DMCU, here to help because that's what neighbors do.
In addition to our manual skills, we also have state-of-the-art equipment here at OMPT Specialists. For example, we have hydrotherapy, which is a treadmill underwater that allows the patients to unload their joints and walk pain-free.
You've got goals and you're giving it your all every day. Isn't it time someone gave you something back? At Diversified Members Credit Union, we couldn't agree more. That's why we created Give Back Checking. Just do what you normally do and get cash back. Every month, all year. DMCU, here to help because that's what neighbors do.
At OMPT Specialists, we treat our patients like their family. Our one-on-one treatment approach and philosophy really allows us to get to know our patients on a personal level. We understand what is impacting them the most and what we need to work on, and we're able to target those things very fast and get them back to function as quick as possible.
Everyone knows about the big bucket list. Trips to Europe, climbing a mountain, skydiving at 40,000 feet. But what's on your monthly bucket list? You know, the one we'd like to check off now? At Diversified Members Credit Union, we're not for profit, so we can offer some of the lowest rates around, just in time to set sail. DMCU, here to help because that's what neighbors do.
In addition to our manual skills, we also have state-of-the-art equipment here at OMPT Specialists. For example, we have hydrotherapy, which is a treadmill underwater that allows the patients to unload their joints and walk pain-free.
You've got goals and you're giving it your all every day. Isn't it time someone gave you something back? At Diversified Members Credit Union, we couldn't agree more. That's why we created Give Back Checking. Just do what you normally do and get cash back. Every month, all year. DMCU, here to help because that's what neighbors do.
Favorite club soccer team that's not Barcelona?
Welcome back to Royal Oak, Michigan. You're watching live presentation of Oakland County FC versus AFC Ann Arbor, some USL 2 League action on We Are Soccer YouTube's channel. And speaking of which, my name is Robert Kerr, and I'm being joined by one of the integral figures of We Are Soccer, co-host of the Sunday Night Review Show and a professional soccer scout for the Soccer Syndicate, to give a little bit of insight on what we've been watching and what might come in the second half. I'm glad to be joined by Mr. Brooks Lambier. Thanks for joining us here in the press box here at Royal Oak High School Stadium.
Thanks for having me, Robert. As you know, we've called a few games here on some of the other WAS stuff we've done with our other local summer teams around the greater Detroit area here. But thank you for having me, and I really appreciate it.
So 45 minutes in, scoreless. Both teams have maybe one chance, but nothing really of note so far. County have quite a few changes due to injuries and availability. You know, different front line, some young players at the back, and then you had a few observations about this AFC Ann Arbor team. What do you think about that first 45 minutes before we look at the second?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the first 45, listen, summer soccer, people have to understand is that kids are going to go in and out to go trial with pro clubs. You're going to pick up injuries. Guys are going to be called, back sometime in the middle of July, so your rosters aren't going to always look the same from week to week and game to game, right? You may play on a Wednesday, guys need some rest time, and then on a Saturday or Sunday, 3 or 4 days later, it's going to change a little bit. But that first half was good. It was up and down. There were a lot of chances going forward. Just both teams just need to be a little more clinical in the final third, obviously. I think AFC Ann Arbor's done a phenomenal job controlling the ball. They've done a good job getting forward, especially shooting the outside backs to get wide. A lot of off-the-ball movement that's given the OCFC backline a little bit of a trouble here. But OCFC has held strong. They've been physical on the defensive side. They've gotten the ball into the highest player, into Alex Markovsky's feet, and they played off him, and they found Chui Makuka as well as Melvin Gabla outside. Probably the wingers need to do a little more in the final third for OCFC. They need to beat a player. Someone needs to make a hard run in the box off an early cross to get a goal here. But it's been a good first half.
Yeah, it's been a good first half. Like I said, not a lot of golden opportunities. Some half chances, like Markovsky had a ball slid in behind, and the center back for Ann Arbor did enough to just put him off, and it ended up being a team effort. And then a couple things on the wings that were dealt with by the Ann Arbor back line.
Yeah.
A couple shots from distance for Ann Arbor, so nothing really super dangerous. But one thing I did like to see was the young Canadian, Braden Stevanovic, who I really want to see break out. He started having a couple more aggressive steps in that final third.
Yes.
But what would you do? It seems like there's a bit of a gap between the county midfield and the attacking four, because there's kind of been a group of four of Makarski and then the two wingers in Makuka and Blah and then Stevanovic, and then a big gap between Yamazaki.
Yeah. No, I think when they found Yamazaki and they've gotten out the other side, I think that's been, the key for them. I think Carson Blog on the ball. He's done it at OU in the fall. He's played a little bit of center back. He played in defensive midfield for the Golden Grizzlies this past fall. But when you get when he gets on the ball and he looks to break lines into the higher, either the winger that checks into the half space, the center forward, or can find Yamazaki's feet in turn, he's done extremely well. I don't know if there's really much to do. I mean, they're playing the ball through. It's not like they're always going to have to go wide and play wide. I would like to see Rocco Galati get up a little higher. That's what he's really been good at the past few years he's been with OCFC. And Van de Wink needs to get up a little as well. But and to do that, the wingers really need to get inside the game so they give the outside backs the chance to overlap. So chances need to be taken. And if you play too relaxed and you don't take those chances, it becomes very difficult to get players forward and try to score goals. So, especially against a well-structured AFC Ann Arbor defensive team.
Yeah, Oakland County FC, we have about 5 minutes remaining in the halftime brought by Diversified Members Credit Union. We got owners of the teams getting involved as owner Nick Marana's on the Einfield mic, while one of the other co-owners, Theo, is up there holding the banner as well. A great match day atmosphere here, as it looks like they're going to take a halftime picture with all the kids that participated in this halftime game. Theo Futris, his last name, evaded me there as I was called upon to do it. But as we just have a couple minutes before the second half begins, what do you think, who makes the breakthrough here? Where do you think the decisive moment comes from?
Well, it's two interesting teams. OCFC's got more of the size. Usually AFC Ann Arbor is usually a team that's got a mixture of size and skillful players. It's a very small team, and they have a few kids like Drew Pearson playing at center back with Will Eby. Drew Pearson's normally usually a wing back at Detroit Mercy here locally for the men's program. Plays on the left or right side, but Drew's actually done pretty well. It's going to take Andrew Darakanovich, or Darakanjian from from Oakland. You want to make sure if you're OCFC, you're always knowing where he is off the ball, following him down when he's checking down into space. He was phenomenal against DCFC in their spring game this past spring. He gave them issues, and he scored a couple goals and combined to get an assist on one. So you really need to track where he's going to be for OCFC. And I think it's going to come from Andrew on AFC Ann Arbor's goal if they can. But for OCFC, you need to get a Melvin and Chewy need to keep the ball. They need to make better decisions. AFC Ann Arbor's given the ball away a few times. Will Eby's made some silly mistakes, and that's surprising for a freshman that's, for a sophomore at MSU that started a lot as a freshman at MSU to make those silly mistakes playing out of the back. So I think it's going to need to press and get it off a turnover, see if they can get an counter or transition. But Markovsky needs to find good spots too, and he's got to combine and find good spots in around the 18. But we'll see what happens with subs. You got Kyle Pearson that could come off the bench for AFC Ann Arbor and make a difference in the midfield here. And then also OCFC have some strong subs as well they haven't used. So I think a sub is going to come in, or a few are going to come in the second half and make a difference. So
looks like we're about 90 seconds away from the second half beginning. A quick word before you depart for your scouting spot in the stands. What can we expect from the Sunday Night Review show here on the channel?
Yeah, so it'll be an hour tonight with Craig and I. Danny and Nate currently they have tryouts this weekend as they coach for some youth clubs here in the greater Detroit area. We're talking U.S. men's national team, talk some TST 77. It is the semifinals tonight, and the final is Monday night, so that'll be fun. And a whole bunch of other stuff. A lot of international play coming because we got Euros coming up. So Craig and I, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock tonight on WAZ YouTube.
Brooks, thank you as always for your insight and the notes that you provide us on our rosters. So everybody, if you haven't got enough soccer, check out Craig and Brooks on this very same channel. We are Soccer at 9 o'clock for the weekly Sunday Review show. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so the eyes turn back to the field as the players start to assemble. We're going to try to see if there's any substitutions along the way as our color commentator puts the headphones back on. My name's Robert Kerr. Back on the second microphone, Mitch Gatsky. How did you enjoy that halftime entertainment, and what do you want to see here from this second 45 minutes?
Well, I was just kind of eavesdropping on your conversation with Brooks there. Great stuff from him, and like I mentioned, it's just interesting to hear his take on what's going on. He's going to approach things with a little bit of a different eye, whereas we take that overarching look at what's happening. He's really looking more granularly at what's going on with each individual player, how they piece together. As I'm taking a look at the two teams are back out on the pitch and doing some warm-ups. I think we're going to have at least one substitution for County. It looks like Mamadou Keita is going to check in at, I would imagine, center back. We've talked a little bit, more than a little bit, here in the first half about the complications that are going on for County's back line, and Keita will step in and hope to just stabilize things there at the back. He started off the season as the top choice center back there on the left-hand side, and I think just through rest originally, and then we talked about the combination that Barutsky and Wishmeyer established. I think Keita just got kind of pushed to the back burner, but good to see him back out there. It'll be a big 45 minutes for him to reestablish himself as one of those top choice center backs. And he really comes in out of necessity. We mentioned just the lack of options and that yellow card. We'll see which one of the center backs was taken off, whether it be Carson Balag or Dominic Koji. But
it actually, in a surprising turn, it looks like number 3, Ryan Van de Winkel, is the shirt that did not come back onto the pitch as Coach Steve Walker goes to address his team's huddle for a last-minute word of encouragement. So it looks like there's going to be a whole shift at the back. We'll see how that comes together as Coach Walker looks to be having some words with Chewy Makuka, some last-second instructions. You don't see the coach come out into the field
it's interesting.
too often, and we heard from Brooks he wanted the fullbacks to move up, but Van de Winkel changed his place for Keita, and it looks like Balau will be looks like Koji, the number 2, will be playing fullback. He's going to shift over to the left fullback spot, and the center back pairing is going to be Carson Balag, who's on a yellow card, joined by halftime substitute Mamadou Keita, who returns for his second season with County, but was only able to play one game last year. He played the opening couple games for County, but was dropped in favor of reminded me again.
Who was he dropped for?
Wishmeyer, excuse me. And so now the second 45 minutes is underway here at Royal Oak High School Stadium, Oakland County, in the purple and black, going from left to right. The visiting AFC Ann Arbor from right to left. Wishmeyer, I'm sorry, your name just flew right back out. Unfortunate injury for him, so we have a new back four for the county.
But again, Rob, this is going to be a back four that hasn't been together, hasn't been paired in this way. So opening moments here, they'll be looking to get on the same page and make sure they're communicating efficiently.
I think County should be on the lookout. They've so far done well to keep out the leading scorer for Ann Arbor, Andrew Darakajian, the Walled Lake native. He's got 4 goals on the season already, and he had the decisive strike a couple weeks ago out in Ann Arbor as Stevanovic was looking to get the ball to Zinho. But surprising for a side that had 3 yellow cards in it for none of those 3 players to come off in favor of a player who I thought had done fairly well in that first 45 minutes.
Yeah. We're not privy to the inner workings of head coach Steve Walker's brain, but you got to think that he'll have had a reason for that move.
Here's Malvin Blah, one of those yellow card recipients, trying to get on the end of that, but was muscled off of it by, I think that was Drew Pearson, or his center back partner. He's got his back to us. His brother, former Mr. Soccer, Kyle Pearson, keeping lookout for number 15 to see if he joins the fray at some point here in this match.
I imagine he would. You generally don't keep a player of that quality on the bench for a full 90 minutes.
No, and the coaches try to be cognizant that these players are pre-professional and they've dedicated a lot of time and training and traveling to come out here. You'd like to get them on the ball as that's a foul against County here in the early goings within the first 3 minutes of the second half. If you're just joining us, it is 0-0 here in a mid-table clash between AFC Ann Arbor and hosts Oakland County FC. Both teams coming off a loss, looking to get back in the win column. A win for County would see them leapfrog AFC Ann Arbor into that fourth spot, 4th of 8, and the goal at the end of the season is to be in that top 2 to make it into the nation-spanning playoff competition. County finished 3rd, just outside of the playoff spots last year, usurped by this very same Ann Arbor side. That last week of the season, summer 2023, looking to write a different story here in 2024. Still time to do it, but early in the season, it already feels like must-win pressure is on this side.
No other action around the Great Lakes Division here today, Rob, but yesterday, really the result that has made this feel like kind of a must-win already. Flint beating Midwest, those table toppers, Midwest United, taking that 2-0 loss at Flint. So the Bucks, as we've seen, coming on strong in the second half of the season and really putting the pressure on the rest of the division to rack up those points.
Ann Arbor getting a call at the top of the box there as that right-sided attacker. I think that was Jorge once again trying to cut in there. Got clipped about 23 yards out, and in a dangerous angle, Rob Jelli is going to feel the pulse rise here as he instructs his teammates to build the wall. Zinho doesn't believe the paces he's marking off his own paces there.
It's probably too tight of an angle to have a real shot at goal here, but if you put it on net and force a save, you might create a rebound situation.
It's a right-footed looper headed away by Yamazaki. Right-footed strike, and for a moment, that looked like it was going through the back of the net, but thankfully that was wide right, and that went beyond the goal and not in. So within the first 5 minutes, AFC Ann Arbor is the first side with a bit of a chance, but County weathered that storm and will look to build and make a chance, get a first chance of the second half themselves. What will that shakeup at the back do as far as getting more of a connection to the forwards? In that second half, those last 5 minutes of the first half were encouraging for County. The front four were starting to link up quite a bit more as County get a whistle here just over halfway into the Ann Arbor territory. Mighty Ope looking to take a hack out of the County player as this hits off the outside of Chewy Makuka's boot, and it's going to be shepherded out, and County will win the decision. Linesman awarding the first corner of the second half for County, and Chewy Makuka will look to take a left footer as number 13 for the visitors gets their first yellow card. That is leading scorer Andrew Derekajian getting a yellow card, 13 for the visitors. And I think that was for Dezent. I don't think he believed that was a correct decision to award a corner.
Yellow card assessed to Ann Arbor 13, Andrew Derekajian.
Corner taken in, headed away there in the top of the 6-yard box, and Rocco Galati had to get on his horse to get to that one first and just knock it out of bounds.
And a good job to break up that play, even though he didn't find a teammate with that pass. It was really more just a clearance to shut down the counterattack possibilities that Ann Arbor had there.
And this is Kyle Pearson, the number 15. His real first contribution is stopped in its tracks by Rob Jelli. And that's why we know University of Michigan head coach Daly is in the crowd. It's to watch Michigan forward Kyle Pearson in action, and there he was. But thankfully for the County faithful, so was Big Rob.
I think Jelli's been at his best, at least from what I've seen this season, when he comes out and closes down the angle on forwards who are in behind his back line and really just not allowing them the time and the space to get their shot off the way that they want to.
The Elmwood Elite singing their goalkeeper's praises after that one, as that looked like a dangerous situation. The University of Michigan forward Kyle Pearson, former Mr. Soccer Michigan, looked to be in behind the back line. Rob July on the spot to take care of that. The home supporters showing their love. I see that they've migrated back to the main stand. Opening weekend, they were on that far side, on the camera side, on that small stand. You can't really call that a grandstand on the far side.
It's not very grand.
No, underneath us is definitely a grandstand, a large one built some 50, 60 years ago here in Royal Oak, because that's a nice angled, lofted ball for Melvin Blah, and he turns around the defender, tries to feed it to Stevanovic, but his service is knocked behind for another set piece for County.
I didn't get a good enough look to tell if Malvin meant to do that. If he did, incredible touch there.
Yeah, to get around that Ann Arbor fullback was very nice, pleasant on the eyes. And the good corner chant as this one's floated in. It goes over some defenders. And the whistle blown. It looked like a really nice header won by Chewy Makuka, but a whistle blown. I don't know if
Push in the back, I would guess. I don't know. I didn't really see anything that screamed foul.
as both teams kind of grumbling about calls now as the intensity ratchets up. It seems like the ire is always directed towards the referee. But that looked like a really nicely taken corner, probably the best corner of the game so far from a County perspective. As some pressing from Malvin almost bears some fruit, as he's still got some energy, and hopefully he can keep that up. I'm not sure who would replace Chewy or Malvin on the outside attacking positions, so hopefully they have the energy to press like they are throughout the game. But here comes Ann Arbor. They have a runner in behind, and young Koji did well there and was fortunate enough for that to bounce back to him, as he was under duress and was surrounded by white shirts. And I feel like Ann Arbor, if they are able to possess the ball moving into the attacking third, they have the cleverness in their runs to confuse this County back line. As looking for a shooting opportunity there, as Makuka did really well to poke that away. The Ann Arbor player staying down, the referee not bothered at all, as County are moving on, and the Ann Arbor player gets on his feet. Here's Bala. Looks for that angled ball for Malvin again. Off his chest nicely. Really good touch. There's a couple options in the box. He rides a challenge, rolls it back. What can he do now? There's no one on the top of the box for him, really. And that cross cleared away, and there wasn't a whole lot of creativity in the box there for Malvin, as he did really well to cradle that down, right a challenge, but nobody really open for him, as that pass easily cut out by Ann Arbor, and they look to move down the other end of the field. And that pass wayward, and July more than able to get there. Made it a little bit more interesting than you would have thought, but no harm, no foul there, as County feed the ball to Captain. And here's Yamazaki up to Stevanovic, who looking to step up his game here just a notch, and that runs away from him there. Looked like he was going to knock it wide to Malvin, had it run away from him there just a little bit. Good.
Well done by
backtracking there by
Zinio.
Zinio.
Yeah.
Knocked long by Malvin Blah, or Rob Jella, excuse me. Here's Rocco, one-on-one here on the outside. And this will be a real test of the endurance of this front four, as they've chased quite a bit as Ann Arbor's knocked the ball around at the back. They've almost been rewarded a couple times. Like here's a turnover. Markovsky has it run past him, and Advantage brings the ball back. You almost thought that chance was going to go begging, but the referee kind of took favor to the County attack and brings the ball back. It was a nice win. Malvin kind of got grabbed there. I think that's what the foul ends up being for. And the pass, Markovsky had an idea. Again, maybe just not the connection with his teammates because he let that run and there wasn't a run behind him. But no harm there either, I suppose, as Malvin Blah surveys his targets in the box. Markovsky standing in an offside position. We got 3 or 4 County players at the just inside the 18. It's the yellow lines of the soccer lines here if you're just tuning in. Playing it short to Rocco. Malvin trying to get there before the baseline, and his cross attempt is a bit of a shank, and that will be a goal kick for the visitors.
It's a good idea, but I think the margin for error is just so small on a play like that. Malvin had to book it to the end line and get there just in time to try to ping that one back across, and maybe just a lofted ball into the box, the better play. But we mentioned the lack of height for both teams and not a lot of clear options to throw those balls into the mixing bowl for, a headed chance. You look at Mamadou Keita maybe as a player who can go up and bang those home, but
he's more girth than height.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much of that from him. So
Stevanovic has a little bit of height, maybe Markovsky. And then for the visitors, 21, Antonio Lima. But we're searching for height at that point.
Yeah.
As here come Ann Arbor. They're breaking into the County box. And, oh my goodness, that's probably the best chance of the game. Number 9 for the visitors found himself in some space on the left-hand side. Salvador Martinez, and he sent a teaser across Jelly, across the goal. But no one there at the back stick to tap that one in.
And again, I think that's Rob coming out and making Martinez make that play not on his own time, but a little bit ahead of schedule.
You think he was shooting or looking to feather in a teammate?
I think he was trying to find that far corner and didn't have the time to really slide it home the way that he wanted to because Jelly was in his face.
And Markovsky looked to have gotten a nice ball over to Malvin Blah, but maybe a little too heavy. Made him really have to have that perfect first touch to wrangle that in. Nice little curler, nice shape to that ball, but maybe just a little too heavy. As this looks maybe like a turnover here. They ride it well, do the visitors, and they turn and face to the north. County, if you're just tuning in the purple and black strips, designed and voted on by County supporters, going from left to right here in the second half. And the visitors, AFC Ann Arbor, in the white tops and light blue socks and shorts, going from right to left. That's Markovsky, again, letting that roll to a teammate that was not behind him.
And it's weird because he is leading the line. He is the striker, the number 9 in the lineup right now. So he's the guy that they're sending the ball to. It's weird that he's letting those run to teammates that just aren't behind him.
He is the target.
Yeah.
But we'll see if his teammates have a word and kind of give him some reassurance that you can be the man. Bring that ball in, big fella. As Ann Arbor are working it around pretty well here, and they're on the far side. That's Kyle Pearson, who had a half chance early in this half as we have just crested the hour mark. My name is Robert Kerr alongside Mitch Gatsky here on the We Are Soccer YouTube channel. Happy to be with you. 0-0 the scoreline as Ann Arbor look to change that, and they do. Unfortunately, that's number 13 for the visitors, their leading scorer, Andrew Dirakajian.
Yeah, he is.
The OU forward.
He's in
gets
quite
his 5th
some
of the year.
form. I mean, any time there's been a goal scored, it's pretty much been him this season for Ann Arbor. 62nd minute, AFC Ann Arbor pushed themselves ahead with a nice slung-in ball from the near side here. Jelly got a piece, but that header just too close in, and he wasn't able to palm it over the bar. Instead, it nestles into that top corner. Catch-up time for County. They're up against it.
That is the first goal conceded here at home in 2024 for County. And let's see, the goals have not been aplenty for this County side, and they have only scored 2 in 1 match out of 5. So they're going to have to do so in less than half an hour here if they're going to secure 3 points. And it is their leading scorer, Andrew Durakshian, getting on the board for his 5th of the year in the 62nd minute.
He was the lone goal scorer for Ann Arbor the other night in Flint. And that game, though it finished 3-1, it was, Rob, 2-1 until very late there. Durakshian scoring in the 42nd minute, so just before halftime to cut that lead to 2-1. But that game was 2-1 at half and until the 87th minute. So Ann Arbor was in that game. Obviously didn't get the goal to pull themselves back into it, but it's not like they showed up and got rolled over by Flint. That was a competitive match just a couple of days ago.
And both teams entering this match today coming off a loss. Both losses on the road, it should be noted. As that one's long, and that's Durakshian again.
Wow.
As
Well
Rob
done,
Gelai
Rob.
takes that off his chest, pops it up, and then heads the.
That was really
headed out.
impressive from a keeper, you know, with an attacker closing in on him, a hot pass back.
I'm not even sure that he had to. I almost think that he could
Yeah.
have caught that. That wasn't an intentional back pass.
I think better safe than sorry, though. Obviously, you don't want to grab it and find out the hard way, especially after just having conceded. You know, if it were to have been a decision that goes against your way, then you're really putting your team up against it. So well done by Rob Gelai in that instance, coming out and playing the ball.
AFC Ann Arbor on the road and have the lead, and they're looking for more as they come down the right-hand side. Low cross. Mamadou Keita there to stop that.
He doesn't look quite right, Rob. I'm going to say when
Keita?
when he had to hustle back there on that last play, it's not a hitch in his giddy up, but you can tell he's not running at full speed.
He's not fluid in his gait, huh? All right, here's Zinho looking for Markovsky. He knocks it wide for Malvin Block. Can there be an instant reaction here from the men in purple? Let's turn Royal Oak High School Stadium back into the purple patch, which it has been thus far for them this season. Tough, though, now as they are down 1-0, and goals haven't been easy to come by so far in this season. It looks like head coach Steve Walker, who's in his first season with County, is going to be called to his bench for the first time. Curious as to who this might be. Who is the player in this squad that coach thinks will bring a spark?
Looks like number 12 on that far side there. So I think that might be Nathan Castle, preparing to enter the game. He's been rostered all season. I'm not sure that he has any minutes.
He's got 128 minutes on the season. I think that he's had a couple of substitute appearances. He's a Rochester native, went to Avondale High School, and that looks like Chewy Makuka is off for County as 2 new players enter the fray for the visitors as well. Yeah, the new forward for County from Rochester Hills plays his college ball at the University of Indianapolis. Sophomore there. 6'3", so a little bit of height entering for County. Looks like he's going to be playing the number 9 or 10 position. Him and Markovsky are having a little bit of a conversation. Looks like Braden Stevanovic is going to go to the right-hand side where Chewy Makuka had been playing. So a little bit of a change up as we're going to try to track down these visitor substitutions. One of them is number 22, Aaron Asamoah.
Aaron Asamoah checks in for Ann Arbor.
We'll have to see who that second one was as Coach Rod Azalani brought in a double change.
Just waiting on that player on the far side there to turn around so I can spot his number. He's right there in front of Malvin, number 3. That is Chris Naker. The other substitution here for AFC Ann Arbor.
Who's Asamoah?
Naker's a player who's featured quite a bit. 5 appearances, 2 starts for AFC Ann Arbor. Asamoah little bit less action, 4 games, 1 start, just 94 minutes. The thing that I noticed, Rob, in the prep here the last couple of days, taking a look at this AFC Ann Arbor roster, they do use substitutions quite a bit. They rely on that full squad depth to propel them past the 90th minute mark. So I mentioned it a few times with a shortage of options for County. We'll see how that war of attrition plays out in the closing minutes.
That clearance from AFC Ann Arbor keeping the supporters on their toes, coming right up into the grandstand, right in front of us under the press box. Taking a couple bounces as that throw-in leads to a county corner. Stevanovic, the young Ontario forward, who's going to be going to West Virginia for his freshman year here in the fall, forces the action here, and hopefully that can be a catalyst to an equalizer here, as looks like Malvin Blah will be sending in this corner with his left boot. These have been getting better as they go. Back post. Looked like Mamadou Keita was going to get on that, and not sure if that was a foul against him or just a goal kick. Our referee pointing in the general area there. I think it's just a goal kick, but I thought that Keita had the position there to get that header goal.
He had some steam, and the defender did just enough.
As you'd love these hometown fans to have something to cheer for here. As here comes Kyle Pearson. He stays on the ball. Left-footed strike blocked.
Good job by Carson, I think, on that step out.
I believe you're right. Right-footed strike. Shot with some venom there by the number 11 for the visitors, Luke Sowerby, but didn't have the accuracy there. Scary moment there for the county back line, but Mamadou Keita looked a little bit more fluid in his gait, and he caught up to the tricky number 15.
Yeah, you don't want to let Pearson get loose. Seen it a couple times. He can cause you some problems in a hurry.
Hopefully Markowski can get it to a teammate. It's cut out, though, by the Ann Arbor back line. Looked like he had options both right and left, as Galati does really well to slide tackle past that to a teammate. Here's Malvin. He's got a couple nothing but defenders around him. And it might break to Markowski. Everyone was expecting a whistle that didn't come. Kind of players stopped playing there for a moment and almost rolled in favor of Markowski. I thought that was that lucky break we were hoping for, as Malvin Blah stays down behind the play, and eventually the referee spots him.
Yeah, he's going to need some attention.
And he's asking for a cramp stretch from the goalkeeper, Reese Mahler. And this is as good time as any to thank title sponsor for Oakland County FC, Diversified Members Credit Union. You see the purple everywhere. They are your local credit union. Upgrade your life from kitchens, weddings, vacations, and more. Will help make it real. Visit the DMCU tent in the pavilion during the match for more information, or check them out on the website if you're sitting there watching from home.
Get started on those summer projects, Rob.
Yeah,
it's about that time. The
for
weather
sure.
has turned. You don't have the excuse anymore. You know you got that to-do list, whether it's new gutters or maybe a deck addition, whatever it might be. Diversified Members Credit Union can help you finance it, so check them out.
They've been with us for a few years, very loyal sponsor. They love to come out, and their partnership has been integral to what we're doing here in Oakland County FC.
And we'd love to show them that it's a mutually beneficial relationship, so go ahead and check them out, dmcu.com.
Looks like we're just a few moments away from the Zioli's Pizza Minute. I see the chef getting prepped.
One of these
Down
days, Rob,
below.
I'm going to catch a pizza box up here in the booth.
Or you could run out down.
You can handle it for a minute while I go?
Yeah, you just
down some
take down
pizza?
your headset, run down there,
All right.
push a kid out of the way, and grab one of those free pizza boxes, Mitch. But all jokes aside, kids love getting free pizza, as AFC Ann Arbor are ruled offside. A little of a heart in your mouth moment there for a moment, as it is now the Zioli's Pizza moment.
Get live for some pizza. The fans cheering
As you may not see on screen, but Zioli's one of the pre-match partners for OCFC. You can go there and enjoy socialization with County fans as they give away some free pizzas in the 70th minute of each game. And he's even got a mask. The chef has a mask this time.
Loving that.
Some free pizzas going on here at Royal Oak High School Stadium, amongst the many fun things on an Oakland County FC match day. If you haven't come to one, I do recommend. He's really teasing these kids.
Yeah, you're going to have to earn it today.
He's going up into the stands. Hey, oh! Thank you, Zioli's, for being a consistent community partner here at Oakland County FC. But if this result holds, I think I'm definitely going to have to head to our post-game location, Gus Snug Pub, right around the corner in downtown Clawson.
Either way, Rob, I'm heading over for a pint after this one.
Win, loss, or draw. Fish and chips and a brew. As that one's cut out by our captain, Rocco Galati. What can he find? He finds Zinho. Back to Kai Yamazaki, the minutes leader. Out to the far side, one of our young defenders finds Malvin Blah, who looks to be okay after being shaken up on the play and receiving some attention from the trainers. And
Koji win that corner there?
I don't
No.
think so. He did a lot of running from that fullback position. He shifted from center back to fullback here at the halftime break. He's going to have to do a lot more running here, as that position requires quite a bit. And that time, sometimes fruitless, as he ran the whole length all the way to the end line just for it to go out for a visitor goal kick.
With a yellow card, no less. And that's something that we've continued to monitor as this game has gone on. But Carson Balog and Dominic Koji both with yellow cards across that county back line.
And then Malvin Blah, the one of the goal-scoring threats in this county side right there, making challenge. He probably didn't go in there quite as robustly as he could have, but he got a yellow card in the first half.
And that's the thing, Rob. When you have that early yellow, you know you have to play with caution the rest of the game.
As that was scooped into the box, dangerous moments for County here. Don't want to give up that second one. Great tackle from Zinho, and almost reaches Markovsky. And you think that play previously when Ann Arbor was trying to build out of their half originally, and that one's weak from Koji too. This one's going to go into the box. Finds a AFC Ann Arbor player. That's number 3, one of the second half substitutes, Chris Nacker. Maybe, but he made a nice run, got it in the end of that, but that shot didn't really test County. Was that even offside, or was that a foul?
Yeah, it was offside after the ball had bounced back around to the Ann Arbor player.
But definitely Ann Arbor threatening for a second here.
Well, and they get it right back. I think County's downfall this afternoon has really just been a lack of possession and being able to hold on to the ball. Even if you're not going to do much with it, you just don't have to defend constantly, and that can really help, particularly with some new guys coming in at the back, as we've mentioned numerous times.
Here's Pearson. He links up with a teammate on the top of the box. Danger here. Looks for a right-footed shot, and it's blocked well by Below. And then can we see some quality here? That might be offside, and it is, against the substitute young number 12, Nathan Castle. Rochester Hills native, just a step ahead of that one, or maybe the pass was a moment too slow.
Yeah, I think it was just a slight bobble, not even a hesitation, but just not as fluid as that move wanted to be.
That's also, not looking to possess the men in purple. They were always thinking counterattack there.
They're very direct, and that's been what I
For
think
better
is,
or worse.
Yeah, most notably, they're going to try to push the ball up the field, as you mentioned, for better or worse.
Trying to close the goalkeeper down was Kessel.
Out of play. It's a little bit too much width there.
Nathan Casal hasn't played a whole lot and getting an opportunity here with his team down a goal. As that looked like it came off Markovsky's elbow, no whistle, and Ann Arbor have the ball anyway. That's a run in behind, and if there was a softer pass there, that number 13 was making quite the run in behind the county back line. As the goal scorer, Andrew Durakshian, forgive me if I slaughtered that, but he made a nice, nifty run, but the pass just wasn't of the right power.
Just way too much space at the back right now for County. I understand they're pushing forward trying to get this equalizing goal, but really leaving themselves exposed.
As we're about 12 minutes plus stoppage time in this match here at Royal Oak High School Stadium. If you're just joining us, AFC Ann Arbor with the 1-0 lead. They are the visitors in the white tops. About to take this corner, attacking the goal to the left-hand side. The home team, Oakland County FC, looking for the equalizer, but having to defend now. Defending the goal on the left, want to attack to the right as Ann Arbor's number 17 checks into the game.
Yeah, it's Charlie Lacey, Rob. He's going to check in for Salvador Martinez, number 9, coming out.
Corner taken low, hard front post. Markovsky able to find Malvin. Can he hold off a couple players? He doesn't. And here's Ann Arbor right back in the county faces. Slicing and dicing at the top of the box. A couple county defenders there to push it back. Here's Zinho. He's dispossessed.
The subs have made a difference, Rob. I think
for both sides, really.
I mean, as soon as AFC Ann Arbor got these guys into the game, they've been much more on the front foot.
Yeah, they're definitely sharp, and Pearson on the ball here just passed it. He's definitely got a spark to him. You can see why he's part of the University of Michigan program and won Michigan Mr. Sock a couple years ago. Very sharp on the ball. A little surprising he didn't start, but we got the leading scorer on Durakshian and Pearson. And then the number 9, too, has been a bit of a threat at certain points. Salvador Martinez, I'm not sure if he came off or not, but that one has Jelai flapping. And then, thankfully, it was cleared. But, again, only as far as an Ann Arbor player.
It's just recycled over and
So
over.
be. There's another sliding tackle by Rocco Galati, but Ann Arbor maintained possession. Balog looking to close that down, and that was a very dangerous moment. Aaron Asamoah making a nice run and a good combination of passes on top of the county penalty area, and just the shot just too close, and he puts that either side of Rob, and you feel like that might have been a 2-goal difference there, Mitch, as
Yeah.
Coach Steve Walker going to his bench again. Or is that an injured player coming off or returning to the fray?
I think it is a sub. It's
Who went off there?
Markovsky's come off on the near side
Mm.
just to speed up things. I think it's 19 who's in. That is Doug Hayner.
So both teams have dipped into their subs here in this second 45 minutes. We got 10 minutes and some stoppage time to go.
There's Hayner.
His first piece of action is to intercept and hopefully set a teammate off. He finds Malvin Blah, who is offside. Those offsides have been very marginal, but quite a few have gone against County now.
Yeah, it's a fine line. I don't think in that situation you can afford to be caught offside. Just with the way that play developed, you got to be able to check your run. It's really not much of an excuse.
And it looks like they've sent Rocco Galati, the captain of the side, to the sidelines to get some sort of treatment. I don't know if he's got a scratch or something. They're wrapping his right arm. Maybe he had some blood coming out or something like that. Braden Stevanovic has had to fill in at right fullback position while
That's fun.
Galati is on the sideline. He must have gotten a scratch on his forearm by the look of it.
I think you diagnosed that spot on.
His throw comes down the left. Rocco comes all the way back across after getting some very speedy tape. I think that was assistant coach Kirk Johnson, quick with the wrap. Shout out to Kirk. And while we have a moment, I need to give a birthday shout out to Javier Coleman, celebrating his 14th birthday. Shout out, Javier. Happy birthday, buddy. I want to thank our musical guests here on our match day. Before and at halftime, the crowd at Oakland County FC match here at Royal Oak High School Stadium was entertained by some blues rock from Billy Keys, which was very entertaining. Thanks to those guys for coming out and entertaining County fans.
Yeah, they were great. A little different sound than we're used to here at Royal Oak High School Stadium, but they killed it.
Some solid blues rock here. And County getting into somewhat desperation time. Need to get one, but ultimately need two here with a record of 2 wins and 3 losses. You really don't want to fall any farther behind here, but time is running out for the favorable outcome. Chasing down the right-hand side, Keita's got to chase. Rocco did well enough to pop it away from that runner coming central down towards his own goal, and the follow-up shot, thankfully, well off target. That pass probably not going to be what they need, and that's wide of Malvin. And there's a whistle, and a lot of players down grabbing their knees here, feeling
Yeah, no kidding.
some fatigue as there's a little bit of pushing on the far side. I'm not sure what the referee is really stopping things for. I think she's making, an Ann Arbor player put his shin pad back in the sock.
Proper protection required.
And County win the ball back there. And looking long again, just midfield, just not part of the attack here in the second half. So the midfield 2 look like they're Doug Hayner and Kai Yamazaki. Can they link up and connect the front 4 with the midfield 2? And they were doing it a bit in the first half, but as the second half has gone on and the change of personnel hasn't worked out. But here is County in the box. Here's Zinho. Plays it back. Left-footed cross, looking for the County forward, Casal. Casal made a nice leap. He's got some height. He's 6'3", University of Indianapolis player from Rochester. Can he get some service here? Looks like Koji let that just run out and let his team set up for the set play. All attacking players are pushed up here. If this bounces Ann Arbor's way, Rob Jelli is going to have to do some heroism, but this is taken into the box. And that's Doug Hayner gets a goalwards, and it looked like Kai Yamazaki got that on frame, but only into the arms of visiting goalkeeper Reese Mahler.
Good glancing header there by Hayner to knock that one into the dangerous area. Kai just with a defender right in between him and his destination. Couldn't get the purchase on that one.
The visiting goalkeeper, Moeller, if my notes are correct, played some at Cornell as County defender Mamadou Keita gets enough in the way to deflect that shot up and out for a visitor's corner. 3 plus change plus stoppage time. All that remains here on this Sunday matinee of USL League 2 action. Not too many attacking players up for the visitors.
No. They are, they want to take a little time off this clock, I think.
But
that won't do it.
Plays in favor of County, and that rolls just ahead.
But see that again,
Castle.
that pass doesn't need to be rushed, and there's really no reason to turn it back over.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there. I mean, it all come out in the wash, I suppose, with the goal kick being taken here. But you'd really like to see some quality. He was under no pressure, like you said. And they're going to play it down the left-hand side, looking for the run of Malvin Blah, and that's played out of bounds there. And again, not retaining possession.
It's just not been good enough in the build-up play for County in the second half. You touched on it. There was plenty to be encouraged about in the first half, but really in the second stanza, kind of at a loss for what we've seen here.
Bit of a mix and mash, I would say. I mean, we were already, the hometown team, Oakland County FC here, kind of has a cobbled together back line as Ann Arbor go for a second. And that shot from the goal scorer, Andrew Durakian, goes into the arms of Rob Jelai once again. County's trying to build through the middle here, and that passes wide, but fortuitously rolls to Stevanovic, who plays it back to Galati. They're playing crossfield diagonal ball.
I don't find him.
That's Koji coming up from the fullback position and wins a corner there. It looked like it might have bounced back off of Koji, but the home team will take it. Malvin Blah will take it once again, and that is visitors number 13, the goal scorer. I just mentioned him, the Oakland University player, the leading scorer on the team. He scored his 5th. The only goal scored in this match is coming off.
Rob, I can't say for sure, but I would imagine 5 goals is probably near the top of the division in terms of the Golden Boot race. Have to check in on that post-match.
Corner taken, goes back post, but out of play. And I'm going to say that was probably the wind there that took that out of play, but with only a minute to go, that was one, if not one of the last opportunities to get an equalizer for the home team. And Durakian, the goal scorer, coming off probably in favor of a defender. Didn't see who that change inbound was. But, just don't need a second striker at this point if you got the 1-goal lead. And can County muster any kind of late equalizer here? It might be injury time heroics, what's called for. And
if they do, it'll have come out of pretty much nowhere. There's not been much of a threat here in the second half. It might be some tired legs. They are in the midst of 3 games in 7 days with just having played a couple of days ago in Kalamazoo.
And Blah does pretty good there to repel that attack for a moment. Going to have to defend again. That's popped up as it's crossed and fizzed across the County 6-yard box. But as we are now in second half stoppage time, the visitors have the ball, getting into dark times for County. I'd say the only silver lining is only 4 more days until we go again.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround for sure, and an opportunity to sort of wipe the slate clean, take a crack at the league leaders with Midwest coming in to Royal Oak High School on Thursday.
As that one's blocked right in front of Rob Jelai's goal. And maybe one more counterattack opportunity as Stevanovic has a nice touch there. What can he find ahead of him? He cuts in between 2 defenders, pokes it wide, but that pass not accurate enough, and it only finds an Ann Arbor defender. Ann Arbor are next in action, also against Midwest next Saturday, and then again on Tuesday at Macomb, whereas Oakland County FC right here on Thursday, and that almost came to the feet of Zinho, but as has been the way, the bounces haven't been of the lucky variety. But going back to County schedule, back again here at home on Thursday, and in some welcome time off, but no rest for the wicked as when they return to action on Saturday, June 22nd, they will be away at the Flint City Bucks. So we'll have to patch up from this, what looks like a tough result, unless there's some dramatic turn here late as that one sails well over the bar from Sowerby. Excuse me, that's most likely the number 17 rather than 11. But County will more than desperately need 3 points against league leaders Midwest here in Royal Oak on Thursday. I'm hoping I'm going to get some of my pickup soccer guys to come out before my weekly Thursday night pickup game.
That'd be nice.
Fingers crossed. You going to be able to make it cross state on Thursday, Mitch?
Yeah, I'll be here, Rob. I'll be here.
That pass looking for Stefanovic. Cut out there as can't be much time left. We'll see if our center referee's not looking at her watch yet. Can't be too much longer. There hasn't been a great deal of delays as that's falling for Malvin. Might fall for Malvin! And the defender did so well just to get there in between Malvin Blah and the goalkeeper, Reese Moeller. And that will most likely be that. County have been about a half step away on a couple occasions to putting together some good attacks, but really only one or two clear-cut opportunities on the day.
And Rob, it's weird because I think as you, at least at a macro level, look at this game and the game a couple weeks ago in Ann Arbor, they kind of look similar, don't
It's
they?
really the
1-0.
same game mirrored.
Not
it really
a
is.
whole
You're right
lot
about
to
that,
talk
Mitch.
about. Just a moment where, you know, the attacking brilliance. You have to mention Ann Arbor does have a couple players who can really present some problems for you. It's not the bulk of the chances, but they are able to strike in those few chances that they do get, which makes them all the more tricky to defend against.
Before we close out, I want to say thank you to sponsors Diversified Members Credit Union and Sweet Greens. Ahead of the game, folks went out to Zioli's Italian in downtown Clawson, and we already said it before, win, lose, or draw, we're heading to Gus Snug for
They
a
better
round.
They better fire up the taps, let me tell you.
But myself, Mitch, and the Oakland County Stream team will be back here on the We Are Soccer YouTube channel on Thursday evening to take on league-leading Midwest United. And be sure to come back to We Are Soccer's YouTube channel for the Sunday night show with Brooks Lambier and Craig Hearn. Thanks to Brooks for joining us at halftime and kind of giving us a little bit of insight. He's definitely plugged in and knows a lot about these players, so thank you to him for joining us at halftime. As County trying to get this out of their box here in the closing stages. Both games 1-0. How will this end? Not many moments remain, you think, as Ann Arbor looked to be dribbling to the corner. Trying to see this one out. County players caught on the ball there. It looks like a foul. Not the final whistle just yet. She's got her whistle in her hand.
Brooks pretty on point, too, with his synopsis of what we would see here in this second half. You mentioned Kyle Pearson coming on, presenting some problems. You mentioned Andrew Durakian being kind of the danger man, the man to watch. He's scored goals before, and that's exactly what's happened here this afternoon.
And it's only fair the best service into the box was the one that led to a goal. And this one finds Stefanovic at the back stick. County's best cross of the game comes in the fleeting moments of stoppage time, but not on frame to the dismay of the County faithful.
Referee content to just let this one continue to play out. County nearly taking advantage there. Great ball in. Bent toward the back post.
Stefanovic made a really nice run at the back stick there. I wonder if he thought that he might be close to glory. And there is the final whistle, and for the second time this season, County fall to AFC Ann Arbor by a 1-0 score line. And County fall to 2 wins and 4 losses, and their perfect record at home is no more.
Yeah, it was a tough one today, Rob, especially when you consider the questions we entered the match asking ourselves. And unfortunately, a lot of the answers that we got back in return were not as positive and encouraging as maybe we wanted them to be. Definitely plenty of room for improvement, food for thought, plenty for head coach Steve Walker to break down for the boys, and I would expect quite a few lineup changes in hopefully a better outcome on Thursday against Midwest.
Your club. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. On the way home, please remember to buckle up.
Yep, parting words, silver lining. I'm glad it's not a full week until we get to do this again. So a little bit anemic moving forward, just the one goal in it. Hopefully Coach Steve Walker can rally the troops, keep morale up, and have this weekend be the turnaround. I mean, a lot of games, 3 games in 7 days, 6 days even, depending on how you count your calendar days, going Friday, Sunday, Thursday. We've dropped 2 of the 3, and hopefully that gets changed on Thursday. And you can join us here on We Are Soccer YouTube channel as Oakland County FC will take on the league leaders, Midwest United. From myself, Mitch Gatsky, the OCFC stream team, thank you for joining us. And until next time, everybody, please enjoy your soccer.